pretties, and welcome back to my kitchen. I am so happy that your path has led you here today. Today we'll be making Funfetti cookies. It's a sugar cookie, but fun. So, if you haven't already, tie your hair back, spells and such. Grab your apron and let's get started. And we're ready. Today for this recipe, you're going to need 1.5 cups, that's 180 grams of flour, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 room temperature egg, mine have been sitting out all morning, 3/4 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of room temperature butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and for fun, 3/4 cup of sprinkles. This recipe was a special request by my daughter, so she can make it for my granddaughters. So what kind of gammy would I be if I did not comply? So here we go. So we're going to start with the butter and the sugar, and we will start blessing it now. I bless and charge this butter so that it may bring fun and sunshine to all those who eat these cookies. May it bring laughter to their lives and kiss their face with happiness. I call upon the guardians of the north, the south, the east, and the west. I also ask for assistance of my guardians, guides, and ancestors, and the blessing of the Lord and Lady. So mote it be. You can't tell, we are doing this spell for happiness and fun. All right. I bless and charge the sugar so it may bring sweetness to the lives of all those who eat the Funfetti cookies. May it just bring a smile to their face with every bite and keep that smile on their face as they go through their day. I call upon the guardians of the north, the south, the east, and the west. I also ask for assistance of my guardians, guides, and ancestors, and the blessing of the Lord and Lady. So mote it be. All right, so how we're going to start this is we are going to attach our paddle to our handy dandy KitchenAid cauldron. And you can do this by hand or with a hand mixer. You don't need a handy dandy KitchenAid cauldron, but that's what I have. So we're going to first put in the butter. Come on in there. It didn't want to go. And then we're going to cream it up. So let's get our butter started. Let's stop and scrape down the bowl. Scrape it all down, get it all off of there. All right, and let's start again. All right, let's scrape down our bowl again. Mixing and scraping, mixing and scraping. Now when you're doing this with a hand mixer, you can just get right in there. And if you're doing it by hand, you're already doing that. But if you're using the handy dandy KitchenAid cauldron, then you're having to stop several times and scrape it down until the butter and sugar is incorporated and light and fluffy. Here we go again. And we're ready to add the vanilla. So let's bless and charge the vanilla. And into the handy dandy KitchenAid cauldron it goes. All right, now let's get that all mixed in. Okay, and it's ready. Now let's move on to the rest of our ingredients. So let's pull over our scale here. Let's turn it on. Now, the reason why we use the scale is because if you just use a measuring cup, you're probably getting more flour than what you need, and that could be the reason why some of your recipes are not working out. So buy an inexpensive kitchen scale and you'll be putting in the right amount. So we need today 180 grams of sifted flour. So let's start sifting. Perfect. All right. So we are done with our scale, so that can be pushed aside, and these can be put to the back counter. All right. Now let's start blessing everything. So let's add our cornstarch, baking soda, and salt in with our flour, and then give it a little whisk around to incorporate it throughout, so there's not like one bite that's going to be real salty. All right. And now for the fun part. Blessing and charging our sprinkles. Here we go. I bless and charge these sprinkles so that they may bring fun, joy, laughter, and just that giddiness that you have as a child to all those who eat these cookies. May it be like that warm summer day that we all remember. I call upon the guardians of the north, the south, the east, and the west. I also ask for assistance on my guardians, guides, and ancestors, and the blessing of the Lord and Lady. So let it be. Okay, so we are going to slowly combine our dry ingredients with our butter and sugar mixture, not our sprinkles, not just yet. We want to keep this on stir if you're using the handy dandy KitchenAid cauldron, or a low setting with a hand mixer. You're just fine if you're doing it by hand. The reason why is because we are not making bread, we are making cookies. We do not want to activate that gluten. So you just slowly add it in. And just mix it until it looks like a shaggy dough, which is right about there. And now we are going to remove it from the handy dandy KitchenAid cauldron. All right, let's take off our paddle, scrape off the rest, set this aside. All right, so you're going to want to scrape down the sides of your bowl like usual, and then start working it in. Okay, now let's add the fun. Love sprinkles. They just make you happy, don't they? Like, they remind you when you were a kid, when life was simple, the days were long, worries were few. There we go. Now all the sprinkles are incorporated. Now you don't want to go ahead, sorry, English is hard. Now, we are not going to immediately throw these in our oven and start baking. No, no. We are going to somehow get some plastic out. We're going to get a piece of plastic. Lay it down flat. And then put our sugary cookies, our sugar cookie dough onto the plastic. Oh, we left some in there. All right, so now you can put these in the refrigerator for a minimum of 1 hour before you start baking, or up to a week until you need them. But definitely that minimum of 1 hour. So our sugar cookies are going to go into our refrigerator for 1 hour, and then we'll come back. Dough has chilled, and I'm just taking a very small ice cream scoop and making my my dough balls. So I can get them roughly about the same size. Our Funfetti cookies are done. These are so good. Until next time, my friend.